The world today is suffering from a shortage of food. We have no choice but to increase and support the production of protein-rich products. The production of meat, which is a major source of protein, must be raised. In recent years in Saudi Arabia, great progress has been made in the field of animal and fish production. Meat. The total production of meat has increased from approximately 47,000 tons in 1970 to 702,000 tons in 2000. In other words, it has increased by an annual average of 9.1% during this period. Eggs. Saudi's production of eggs has increased dramatically from about 5,000 tons in 1970 to 129,000 tons in the year 2000, an annual average increase of 11.7%. Fresh milk. Fresh milk production in the kingdom increased almost sixfold from 172,000 tons in 1970 to more than 1 million tons in 2000, an annual average increase of 5% during this period. It is important to keep in mind that food security and animal production are interconnected. The surplus of plants and crops that are not consumed by the human population can be consumed by animals, which will subsequently represent basic food for human beings. Increasing the amount of livestock is a difficult assignment. However, the plan for the future is to double the currently existing number of animals, as well as increasing the level of meat production. An increase in the supply of milk and eggs is being sought. Bringing about an increase in different types of animal resources requires a process of improving several elements, one of which is nutrition. Improvement in nutrition can be achieved by making the processing of livestock products more efficient. The end product, such as meat, eggs, or milk, should be professionally produced and be of a very high quality. To achieve this high quality, attention to the correct production of fodder is of vital importance, as it is among the essential elements leading to the improvement and increase of production and the upgrading of genetics traits. Genetics traits can be enhanced through scientific improvements in animal genetics. For example, genetic improvement of cows can be made by the use of artificial insemination using improved bulls, or by utilizing modern techniques in transferring fetuses to cows. As for poultry, the process of improving genetic traits can be accomplished by selecting the genetically improved breeds, which allow intensive production and are suitable to the circumstances prevalent in the kingdom. The Ministry of Agriculture and Water has encouraged the establishment of food projects aiming at realizing self-sufficiency in some of these industries. It has also subsidized concentrated fodder crops such as soya, corn, cotton, and sesame seeds, etc., which provide foodstuff for poultry and other animals at 50% of the cost price. The state has granted this aid for the purpose of encouraging the increase of animal resources and its byproducts in order to achieve self-sufficiency. As a result, concentrated fodder projects have increased year after year because of the increasing number of poultry and cow projects. The aid presented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Water has included assistance in the form of poultry cultivating equipment and machines such as watering facilities, automatic fodder feeders, hatcheries, as well as the electric equipment needed for these. It has also included fodder mixing equipment and automatic cages, in addition to all the necessary machinery for slaughtering, skinning, preparation, refrigeration, as well as equipment for transferring and cleaning eggs, packaging cartons for chicks, bags for packing fodder, and cages for transferring chickens. State support has contributed to increasing the numbers of poultry and their byproducts, as well as milk, and its byproducts in a way that has led to achieving self-sufficiency to the kingdom and allows for the export of the surplus to neighboring countries. Not only is the availability of a wide variety of food important, but also it is necessary to preserve a surplus. In this presentation, we shall elaborate on food manufacturing, canning, freezing, refrigeration, and storage, using appropriate warehousing facilities for ensuring a plentiful supply of basic nutritional products for the populace. Proper storage of agricultural products allows for the supply of a wide variety of foods at all times. For example, chicken meat can be produced and offered to the market in the form of refrigerated or frozen meat, or in the form of fresh chickens that can be slaughtered in the shop. In the interest of realizing food security, the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has provided investors with facilitated loans in order to encourage the establishment of food industries. The first of these projects, which the Saudi Agricultural Bank agreed to finance, was a poultry meat producing project established in 1985. From that time on, such agricultural projects have increased year after year, especially after extending the period of repayment of loans by 10 years. This was done so that the project owner would have adequate time to repay the loan. The establishment of successful food industries was a natural result of such care, support, and encouragement by the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The following are examples of this care and support. Dairy industry factories specialize in producing milk and its byproducts and are located in the west and central areas of the kingdom. The most distinguishing characteristic of such factories is that they have their own dairy herds. As a result, fresh milk has generally replaced dry milk in the kingdom. The state is encouraging the dairy industry in a variety of ways, encouraging the establishment of dairy farms, providing subsidies, and bearing a percentage of the cost of appliances and machines used in milk production. The question that we must now ask ourselves is, are the projects that we have discussed the only sources of protein in this region? Aren't we living in a country bordered by water on both the eastern and western sides? Then what about a vital food resource for those who live near the sea? What about fish resources? All fish resource statistics indicate that the local fishing sector is a vital factor contributing to food security in the country. It is also a major source of food for the population. Fish are a natural wealth that requires care and an understanding of methods of development in order to obtain the maximum benefit while maintaining an environmental balance. This can be brought about through supporting the local fishing fleet and providing it with the latest means of preserving fish. Another method used to develop this industry is to restrict fishing in certain areas of Saudi national waters in order to maintain and develop fish resources. The industry or profession of fishing in Gulf Cooperation Council countries in general, and especially in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, is considered to be one of the foremost occupations, as the inhabitants of these regions rely heavily on the consumption of fish. It makes up about 90% of main meals. To assist the development of the fishing industry, several procedures have been adopted by these countries, such as building ports for the maintenance of fishing equipment and supplying machinery for this line of work. Many resolutions have been taken, for instance, returning small fish to the sea so that they may have a chance to live and grow. There are also seasons when fishing is restricted, especially fishing staple stocks such as shrimps. Among these measures, there is the permanent protection of particular areas during the whole year, as these areas are good fertile grounds for carrying and developing small fish and shrimp. Regulations have been set regarding the means of fishing which may be used. For example, the size of the nets used are regulated in order to restrict unfair fishing practices and to preserve this important natural resource. Many related industries have been established in the kingdom. Fish canning, as well as some traditional industries such as drying and salting fish, are thriving. Some fish are used as fertilizers for agriculture, while others are used as animal fodder. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been able to set effective policies and methods for developing the foodstuffs industries. It has contributed to the diversification of the production base and has created new investment opportunities for the private sector through credit facilities, loans and subsidies granted by the state to Saudi investors and aimed at encouraging local food-producing industries in order to achieve food security and limit the dependence on imports. The government is justifiably proud of the fact that the kingdom is now able to export the surplus of Saudi food production abroad to Gulf Cooperation Council countries and other neighboring countries. This has added increased capacity to the economy of Saudi Arabia and the Gulf homeland. The state has succeeded in diversifying local production and has broadened the economic foundation in general. As part of its contribution to attaining international food security, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, through its belief in the importance of cooperation and collaboration among members of the international community for the interest of humanity, has been keen on providing human assistance and aid for developing countries, in order to enable them to supply food and clothes for their peoples. Saudi Arabia has also helped developing countries in getting through emergency circumstances resulting from earthquakes, disasters, and other crises. In some years, Saudi Arabia has occupied first position among the countries of the world as regards to the developmental aid it provides, calculated as a percentage of total national production. In recent years, it has occupied second position after the United States relating to the size of financial aid it provides.
No, it's not.
During the period from 1973 to 2000, the total aid granted by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to developing countries was around 75.5 billion American dollars, including unreturned aid and facilitated credit loans presented by the Saudi Development Fund. 73 developing countries from different continents have benefited from this fund. The Saudi Development Fund is the main channel for Saudi aid to developing countries. In the period from 1975 to 2000, the total amount of loans granted by the bank reached about 7,026 million American dollars. This has been used to finance 370 projects in 65 developing countries. The share of these funds used in the agricultural sector was more than 1,200 million American dollars and contributed to the enhancement of such agricultural projects as irrigation, soil improvement, well digging, the planting of vital crops, as well as building agricultural dams and helping the fishing industry. Regarding the problem of water shortage, which many African coast countries face, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has donated the sum of $180 million for the implementation of a special program to provide the countryside areas of African coast with water, as well as providing urgent food aid. The countries that have benefited from this program include Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Gambia, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, Senegal, Burkina Faso, and Chad. These programs have had a tangible impact regarding helping the rural people of these areas. 10 million American dollars in aid contributed to the establishment of a similar project in Somalia. 41 wells were drilled and equipped, and water distribution networks were put in place. The project was officially opened in 1987. Saudi Arabia also makes great efforts to relieve the effects of emergencies and natural disasters such as drought, floods, earthquakes, and the growing refugee problem. The total aid provided by the kingdom at an official level up to 2000 AD was more than 4,198 million American dollars, and the public contributed aid to the tune of more than 2,158 million American dollars. As part of the support of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to the International Food Program, the government distributes 21,000 tons of dates per year to the needy both inside and outside the kingdom. 4,000 tons of dates are earmarked for the International Food Program each year, with a value estimated at around $3,800,000. The kingdom bears the shipment costs, in addition to providing the sum of $250,000 to be dispersed annually to assist the process of distribution inside the benefiting country. It's worth mentioning that the kingdom's financial and in-hand aid for the program was about $402 million up to the end of the year 2000. To help relieve the problem of indebtedness in developing countries, the kingdom has decided to respond to the invitation of the Sixth Islamic Supreme Conference held in Dhaka in 1992 by canceling the debts officially owed by 11 countries, which amount to $6 billion. The kingdom also participates in the meetings of the International Monetary Fund, which relate to relieving the debts and enhancing the status of developing countries so that they can qualify for aid. The kingdom contributed to the Fund for Relieving Debts of Developing Countries with an amount of $119,008,000. Saudi Arabia contributes to supporting international developmental establishments and organizations and specialized programs such as the Food Agricultural Organization FAO and the Arabian Gulf Program for supporting developmental organizations participating in the field of foreign manpower employment. More than 6 million foreign laborers from many different countries working in the kingdom. They represent 30% of the total population. Government policies adopted by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have contributed to the development of agriculture. They have brought about social balance and raised living standards. Agricultural balance sheets indicate the increase and improvement of all kinds of food. Nutrition has reached 2,904 calories per capita. These great policies have contributed to achieving food security for the kingdom, as well as its neighboring Gulf Cooperation Council Arab countries.